Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Okay, are you ready for the question? Did black women kick black men out of the home? This is a question that has been raging since I first came to YouTube. It was all the rage when I first came on here. Black men in the manosphere again claiming that the black family was destroyed because black women kicked black men out of the home. So I got this comment from Daniel Watson yesterday when I posted the video about why black people fail for integration. It is the question that I don't think has ever been adequately answered, although people have tried, but so much passion and so much anger seems to be centered around this question that, we don't get a lot of clarity. So this is what Daniel Watson said. Ms. Boulay, there was a person, agent, in the black manosphere on social media that claims black females back in the 60s and 70s wanted to replace black men with the government by taking the public welfare deal, the deal that had the man out of the house statute in the law. His source is the Moynihan report or Moynihan theses. And according to some in the black manosphere, is what led to the destruction of the black family community, not social integration. According to what you've seen in the 60s and 70s, is this true? I really thank Daniel Watson for this question. He comments from time to time on my videos, and his responses are always thought provoking. And since he asked me, according to what I've seen, is it true? I'm going to share my response with you. So I responded, no, those men are losers. The men in the black manosphere primarily are losers, and this is my opinion. There is no welfare check or government program that would put more money into a house than a working man. In the 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, men that wanted to stay with their families and provide for them did so. Thank you for commenting. Now, that's it in a nutshell. There is no government program that's going to give a woman, a family, more money than a working man. The end. But I'm going to say some more. And he replied, thank you for the clarification. You are welcome. This is Daniel Patrick Moynihan. He was a politician, a diplomat, and a social scientist who worked in colleges and lectured in colleges before he joined the government. He was a senator from New York from 1977 until 2001. This is what's interesting to know about Daniel Patrick Moynihan also. He was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1927. That's 6 years after the destruction of Black Wall Street. Now, in all of his writings, I haven't been able to uncover one word that he said about what was done to that thriving black community, for which those people have not received a dime of reparations for the destruction of their families, their businesses, and their community. But he's got time to talk about the black family in the 1960s and blame all of the problems somewhere else besides what has been done to black people in this country. So, to put it in a nutshell, Moynihan said that the rise in black single mother families was caused not by a lack of jobs, but by a destructive vein in ghetto culture, which could be traced to slavery time and continued discrimination in the American South under Jim Crow. Well, he got it partly right. So here he throws out the word ghetto. So it's not a problem that you have discriminated against black people in the job market. In some cases, black people couldn't even go and apply for jobs, but it's about a ghetto culture. Well, how did that ghetto culture come about? Trace back to slavery time. Okay, you really want to go there? You really want to go there and talk about slavery time when black people were robbed and abused, disenfranchised? I mean, we don't even want to go there, but this is how they are able to cover up the things that they've done. Your problem is not that you don't have a job. It's just that you have a ghetto culture, a culture that was cultivated in slavery. So he's right about that. The report concluded that the high rate of families headed by single mothers would greatly hinder progress of blacks towards economic and political equality. So you notice he hasn't said anything about the school to prison pipeline. That hasn't been a hindrance to black people. Job discrimination hasn't been a hindrance to black people. The whole stalking of black men, criminalizing black boys, none of that has been a problem. It's just the high rate of families headed by single mothers. Okay? So let's get to the heart of it. Households headed by single mothers. The mothers have kicked the man out of the home to get a welfare check. I repeat myself for emphasis. There is no welfare check or government assistance program that will put more money into a home than a working man. So that brings us back to job discrimination, does it not? And then I'm going to ask the real hard question that these men probably don't want to answer. And that is, was there ever a man in the home in the first place? Now, these men that are talking about the single moms all the time, know the research that says black men, when they are involved in their children's lives, make the best fathers. They're better fathers than all of the other men. So, if you are the best father, why are you allowing somebody to take you out of your child's home? And the answer to that is that they are not. These men that they're talking about, their mothers kicked them out, their daddies were never in the home in the first place. Some of these people are the children of women who have 4 or 5 children by 4 or 5 different men. There was never a man in the home in the first place. He might have been in the club, or he might have been in the alley, or he might have been somewhere else in a motel room, but he was never in the home in the first place. Let's be fair. And there are other reasons why the father leaves the home. Sometimes the mother and the father just can't get along, and he leaves. And there are times when the father leaves the home, he wants to have a relationship with the children, but not the mother. And then the mother interferes with the relationship with the child and the father, weaponizing the children against the father because she can't have the relationship with the man that she wants. That happens too. Sometimes they're married and sometimes they're not married. Sometimes the guys are out there, sleeping around, and he might get a baby with a woman. He might want to have a relationship with the child, but he's done with the woman and she's angry. That's the ghetto culture that the man might be talking about. But that happens too. And then sometimes when a woman chooses a man, but he doesn't choose her, she has a baby, he doesn't care about her or the child. That's hard to take, but that happens. And there are other reasons why black men are not in the homes with their children. Sometimes they have substance abuse problems. Sometimes there are mental illness problems. He's living on the streets and he doesn't want his children to know where he is. There are a lot of reasons why men are not in the home. And all of those need to be explored. But blaming everything on the woman and she kicked him out because of a welfare check, I am willing to say that that man was never in the home in the first place. Because no real man is going to let somebody else kick him out of his home where he doesn't have control or access over his children. So that's just something that these men are making up because they may not want to face the hard reality of why they don't have the relationship or didn't have the relationship with their fathers that they wanted. And I just named a few reasons that come up all the time, but there are many others. And another thing is when your mama got to go to court to find out who her baby's daddy is, that doesn't pretend well for that child and that father. And we see that all the time. They go put it on TV. They're not even ashamed of it. You got to go to court to see who your baby's daddy is. All this kind of stuff is happening in the black community. And even with all of that, there are still black families that are intact. And the black man stayed in the house because he wanted to. And many of them do. They don't get the credit because all of these whiners are out there taking up all the space and the energy. But there are very good black men out here who stay with their children, take care of their children, educate their children. These children are going to school driving BMWs and Mercedes in some cases because of their daddies. So stop trying to play the black family cheap just because you got on the losing end and the hurtful end of your family. We're sorry about that. I'm very sorry for these men that are hurting because they didn't have the relationship that they wanted with their fathers. But you got to look at the total picture, and you need to try to heal yourself and move on and let other people live because you don't have all the answers. I don't either. But I just know that to really unpack all the things that have gone on in the black family, you're going to have to go a whole lot deeper than a welfare check. I do know that. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about this video. Thank you again, Daniel Watson, for the question. Y'all have a good evening.